And I was also becoming more aware of my curiosity and yearning to have experiences with the opposites or with the same sex, with women. And the more and more that I became aware of myself wanting to have these experiences, the more that the shame and everything started to pour in. Welcome back to my channel, Stay Hype, where I help you heighten your personal experience through my own experience on this earth. My name is Kristen, and you guys, I am so glad to be making this video. I have been MIA when it comes to uploading content, but for a very good reason. Just really needing to take time for myself and go through this shadow work that I've been talking so much about myself, and really sit in it and feel it. It got to a point where I could no longer fake the funk. I had to really just honor my feelings, and I'm really grateful that I'm building this life and this job for myself, that I'm able to take a couple months off and just be depressed and feel all the feelings. And I'm mentioning all this because I know that a lot of you guys who are on my frequency, that are connecting with my content, are also going through your spiritual awakening and going through your journey. And a lot of you have experienced going through another dark night of the soul as you continue going deeper, peeling back the layers of who you are. And for me, it was peeling back a lot of shame, and that led to undeservingness and unworthiness. These last 3 months have been me diving into why I feel so unworthy for love and abundance and money and happiness. And I understand a lot of it now, and this is where this topic for this video came from, as you can see from the title. I'm talking about being consciously closeted. And I know when we use that term, in the closet or closeted, it is just talking primarily about sexual orientation, but that is not just what I'm talking about. That is included in this, but not limited to. When it comes to being consciously closeted, this is where we have that inner knowing. We know that truth. Our consciousness is expanding. We see the things. We see ourselves. We see where there's a flaw in this, the way that we're doing things. We can see where we are contributing to our own suffering. A truth that we're not acknowledging, but we are staying in the closet with it. It is so painful. That is something that I recognize. It's one thing to be ignorant and blissful, right? That's why those terms go together. I don't know better, but who cares? This is fun. This is in the moment. I don't really want to talk about how I'm destructive, or how I'm contributing to my sadness, or what I'm allowing. I don't want to talk about that. Let's just be ignorant and blissful. But then when you come onto this journey and you have this awakening, and the more and more you expand, you start to become very aware of your coping mechanisms. You start to become very aware of how you're not really stepping into your potential the way that you could. You start to become aware of your maladaptive patterns of behavior and limited beliefs. You start to become aware of all this stuff, right? And that's beautiful, and that's great, because what you can't heal, and you can't integrate what you are not aware of. So the awareness is beautiful, but where a lot of us get stuck is what do we do with the awareness? Now that we know better, when do we start to do better? And it's a whole process of peeling back these layers. And this is where, again, this consciously closeted came from, when I started to know better, and I started to get all of this knowledge and enlightenment and see the truth. And I started to see all these things. But then when I was choosing to still create the same stories, well, I can't speak up, and I can't do this, and I can't do that. It was becoming so painful. It was becoming painful for me to not acknowledge these feelings that were inside of me. It was becoming painful for me to know that I needed to change certain things, but being too scared of how those changes are going to feel, or being scared of, how hard it's going to be to let go of certain habits that I know that are no longer serving me. But on the flip side, being conscious and watching myself self-destruct now is a whole different thing. And that's what makes the change, is because we are aware. We are aware of the things that were not working. We are aware of the decisions that we have to start making in order to get to this next chapter, to start embodying who we truly are. And that requires us to let go of who we've always been. And some of us, myself included, have a really hard time letting go of that old version, so that we can start embodying the new. So being conscious but in the closet is painful. And, that term came to me from my own realizations that I've had these last several months while doing my own deep shadow work. And that goes around my sexual trauma and my sexuality. I was getting to the point where I was becoming more aware of the pain that I was feeling and that I've been suppressing, and the anger that I've been suppressing around my sexual assault when I was younger. And I was also becoming more aware of my curiosity and yearning to have experiences with the opposites, or with the same sex, with women. And the more and more that I became aware of myself wanting to have these experiences, the more that the shame and everything started to pour in. But I needed to actually feel the shame in order to look at it and see, is this my shame to carry? And it turns out it wasn't. And so even with that, even though I'm still figuring myself out and giving myself the opportunity to have experiences, knowing that this was something that my heart desired, knowing that this was something that felt right, but still hiding this part of me was painful. And so this is why I'm kind of speaking about it right now and not making a big old deal of like, I'm coming out or this is this, because I'm just allowing myself to have a human experience and being conscious, but out of the closet with the experience that I want to have, because I don't feel a reason to hide anything. And so this is why I wanted to make this video, because if you're experiencing a lot of pain on this journey, the more and more aware you're becoming, I want you to sit and ask yourself where you're still playing out patterns, or you're still ashamed of yourself, or you're still not allowing yourself to fully be in that truth and that consciousness, and you're still in that closet, even if that has something to do with your family or a relationship or a lie, something that you're not being honest with yourself about, something that you're still feeling ashamed of, something that you see isn't working, but you're still doing the same thing because you're in the closet still. Being consciously in the closet is painful. It really is. Because when you know better, it's like, what is the point of knowing better if you're not going to do better? That is the whole reason why they say ignorance is bliss, because when you don't know, it's fun and we can just do all these things and act like we don't know. But when you are conscious and you are awake and you are seeing your own role in your self-destruction and suffering, and when you are very aware of how you're denying certain parts of yourself and you're very aware of the shame that you're carrying, that's when stuff gets real, because then you're making a conscious choice not to accept who you are. And so that's something that you're going to have to sit with and live with. And I realize the magnitude of that within myself, especially when it comes to my sexuality and wanting to be open about my experiences and not feel like I have to hide these parts of who I am anymore. I'm not sure who I'm going to end up with, a man, a woman, whatever. I'm not sure. But I wanted to give myself the freedom to explore that and not have to feel like I have to hide my experience. And so consciously closeted, coming out of the conscious closet and just starting to be real about what it is that you know, how you feel, what your truth is, and doing that unapologetically, because in where I'm at right now, life really is too short to be walking around on eggshells or to be walking around like I'm doing something wrong when I know that I'm not, based on some, societal standard or judgment, or just internalized, judgment towards different parts of ourselves, that self-hatred that is taught, So where are you still being consciously closeted? Where are you recognizing something? Where do you see the truth in a situation or with a friend or family member, something that's involving you, but you are making a conscious choice not to say anything or not to do something different or to continue showing up the same disempowered way? Where is that consciously closeted version of you just really begging to get out and know that, it is okay to be yourself? And that when you learn these things, it's not meant for you to just know it and learn it. It's meant for you to take action. It's meant for you to act accordingly based on what you know. Okay? Maybe the action is setting a boundary now that you are conscious of the fact that someone continues crossing your boundary. To be consciously closeted in that situation would mean to know that there's a boundary that's being crossed. Know that be conscious of something that's not making you feel good. And then to not say anything. And there's obviously caveats if your safety is involved. There's caveats. Sometimes we can't speak on everything because of our safety, but I'm talking to the population where your safety, your physical safety, all that stuff is not at risk, but you are still running that program of avoidance and not wanting to set that boundary out of fear of abandonment. That is the conscious closeting that I'm talking about. And so the way to come out of the closet is to set that boundary and to know that abandoning yourself is not the solution to not being abandoned by someone else. So, it's been a beautiful revelation in these last few weeks of sitting in this shadow work and really allowing myself to get honest and see where I'm still not radically accepting myself and see where I'm still consciously in the closet, and to do everything to get out of that closet. These last 3 months has been so liberating, and what's on the other side of the shadow work is so much just happiness, euphoria, drive, inspiration, gratitude, love, guidance. And I feel like I'm on track more than ever, following my own truth and just really allowing myself to be free on a level that I never thought I would be free. And I want that for you too. And I just want to let you guys know that I am opening a 3-month coaching container called Emerge. It was birthed from this shadow work that I've been doing these last 3 months. And it is all about emerging from your shadows and integrating the shadows into the light so that you can embody the confident, authentic version of yourself that is not scared of the judgment of others because you've stopped judging yourself. This Emerge is about radical acceptance and about loving yourself, all of yourself, not the parts of you that you've just been conditioned to think are lovable, but the parts that you shove down. Those are the parts of you that need love the most if you want to heal. You can't continue to criticize and shame these parts and then think that you're going to be this full, confident, worthy person. No, you got to bring these shadows into the light, feel the feelings associated with them, and create a new story about them. And so that's what I want to help you do in the next 3 months. And so if you are interested, the link will be in my bio to set up a free 15-minute discovery call to see if you're actually a good fit for this program. I do want to make sure that we are in alignment to work together. And so, hit the link, sign up. Enrollment ends on August 7th and we start on the 10th. So more information on that to come. Set up a call and we will go over it. But other than that, it's so good to see you guys again. I'll be back more with some shadow work content, as it's been so profound and healing in my life and I have so much more to share. But wanted to come back in and say hi and that I love you and I miss you and I hope that you've been doing well. I'll see you next time. Bye.